What's going on, guys? It's your boy Zach No C here, and today we are going to be taking a look at the brand new compilation album from Young Stoner Life Records, Young Thug, and Gunna, Slime Language 2. Let's get into it. Young Thug's Young Stoner Life Records has reunited to bless our ears with a sequel to their pretty okay 2018 label showcase, Slime Language. You know, Thugger's been really flexing his A&R skills these past couple of years, breaking the careers of some now really big name artists like Gunna and Lil Baby under the YSL imprint. You know, I consider myself to be a pretty big Thugger fan, but as much of a Thugger fan as I am, I'm not delusional. For every GOAT-level Thugger banger, there's always two more kinda mid ones right behind it. But in spite of that spotty consistency, Thugger has still managed to become undoubtedly one of the most influential rappers of all time. So influential, in fact, that like 90% of the signees that appear on this brand new compilation over here really do just sound like watered down versions of him to a T. And honestly, in my opinion, the music that they release on their own rarely amounts to more than that anyway. But as tempted as I am to rename this album Slime Language 2 Attack of the Clones, I don't want to discredit what is actually going on here. Do most of Thugger's signees sound like somebody doing their best impression at one or two of his inflections without taking any real artistic liberties of their own? Yes. Are the beats on this project kind of predictable and formulaic most of the time? Yes. Is the project literally way longer than it had literally any excuse to be? Yes. But none of those points change the fact that when you add up the entire roster of YSL and throw them all into one big, beautiful, bloated track list, the resulting project that comes of it is still a pretty damn fun time overall. At its core, Slime Language 2 is a largely mindless collection of bright and energetic trap bangers that features at least a handful of tracks that'll be bumping out of many a 20-something's car stereo all summer long. And while it's not gonna land on many year-end lists or be some kind of heralded classic or something, it wasn't really trying to be that in the first place anyway. Actually, while I do believe that most of the rappers on here are pretty much impossible to pick out of a lineup by ear, this compilation has done a really incredible job at highlighting to me which members of the YSL roster really do have some insane potential. Obviously, Young Thug really takes the cake as the most interesting one of them all, but honestly, almost every contribution from both T-Shyne and CONWAY on this record goes hard as hell, and they both really surprised me here. While the majority of the other YSL signees do sound painfully derivative of Thugger, especially Gunna, when you chuck enough of them on a track together, the song mostly ends up sounding like a relatively enjoyable Thugger cut simply because everyone on it is just doing their best to copycat him. It's not necessarily a formula I have a ton of respect for, but I can't deny that it works more than it doesn't in the context of this LP. The bigger name features on this record are also pretty damn solid. Travis Scott, Drake, Lil Uzi Vert, Future, Big Sean, Meek Mill, and Kid Cudi all have their own standout moments on the project, and the tracks that they occupy are among some of the most enjoyable here. I found most of my favorite tracks to feature at least one of these appearances simply because they really help to break up some of the vocal monotony that this tracklist can sometimes get kind of stuck in. But honestly, all of the songs on Slime Language 2 are kind of going for a similar vibe and occupying a similar lane, so whichever tracks on the project that you enjoy the most is likely going to be incredibly subjective. And because of that, the front-to-back listening experience of this project probably isn't going to be that gratifying for most people. For me, I know that I'll be kind of just throwing my highlights in a playlist and enjoying the project in the future mainly that way. Because a lot of this review has been so general, I wanted to take a sec just to rattle off a couple of my highlights and get a bit more specific. I think Slatty with Thugger, Gunna, Yak Gotti, and Lil Duke is an amazing kickoff to this project, and it really takes me back to that like 2015 Slime Season Barter 6 era. Solid is a little bit weighed down by being so Gunna heavy, but honestly, I think that Drake and Thugger's contributions to the song are super enjoyable. Rowdy Rebel absolutely slays Came and Saw. T-Shyne, Lil Keed, Big Sean, and company put together one of the catchiest trap bangers of the year with Warrior. Thugger, Strick, and Kid Cudi all kill it on Moon Man. And that go with T-Shyne, Meek Mill, and Thugger is just without a doubt my favorite thing on this entire project. But all in all, while Slime Language 2 just completely fails to tick quite a few of my essential boxes, I do have to admit that I found a lot to enjoy on this project regardless. Even if I wasn't in love with most of the material on this project, I still never really felt a reason to skip anything. If I'm ever just trying to turn my brain off and while out to some I can definitely see this record landing in my rotation maybe a little more than I'd like to admit. So, with that being said, my final score for Slime Language 2 is... Thanks to everybody who checked out the review. If you like what you saw, please be sure to drop a like and join the conversation in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and hit the bell to get notified whenever I upload new videos. Also, follow me on Instagram @_NoCNotes for access to all of my exclusive live streams and other content. I appreciate you coming by, guys. Thank you so much for watching NoCNotes. My name is Zach NoC. Stay hydrated, and I will see you guys for the next one. Peace. But all in all, while Slime Season 2 just Please tell me I haven't been calling it Slime Season 2 this entire time.